When the Grizzlies picked Morant with the second pick of the NBA draft this season, I thought, damn, that's a pretty good pick. Memphis seems to be building for the future, building on the post-Mike Conley era, and they got themselves a really good point guard. One who's athletic, one who's a good playmaker, one that's really fast, and one that has a lot of potential to grow. However, looking at it now, I don't think many of us expected Morant to play at the level he did. I think some of us expected him to struggle because of his lack of a jump shot, but I think he's proved a lot of haters wrong so far, and I think he's far exceeded expectations. In this video, we're going to talk about what Morant is doing good this season, what he's doing bad this season, what he needs to work on, and what he needs to do to further his career, and perhaps be a perennial all-star, an all-NBA player, and most importantly, an NBA champion. And if you're enjoying this type of content, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and comment what you want to see next. And with all that being said, let's hop into the video. Morant's journey into the NBA wasn't your typical one of one you would see of a top draft pick. In fact, coming out of high school, Morant was actually unranked, and he decided to go to Murray State instead of a big school like South Carolina. Murray had a solid season at Murray State, averaging 12.7 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 6.3 assists on 46% from the field and 30.7% from the three-point line, but it was not enough to warrant NBA attention, so he decided to return for his sophomore year, and this was when he finally exploded. In fact, his sophomore season was one for the record books. He led Murray State to the NCAA tournament, where they got eliminated, but he had the attention of so many scouts. On the season, he averaged 24.5 points, 5.7 rebounds, 10 assists, 1.8 steals, and 0.8 blocks on an efficient 50% from the field and 36.3% from three. He became the 8th player in NCAA history to put up a triple-double in the March Madness tournament against the 5th-seeded Marquette. In that game, he put up 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 16 assists. Morant also made history by leading the NCAA in assists, but not only that, he was the first player in NCAA history to average at least 20 points and 10 assists in a whole season. And we all know after this tournament, Morant declared for the NBA draft, and we all know that he was selected number 2 overall by the Memphis Grizzlies. The team seemed like a perfect fit for him as they were coming off the Mike Conley era, and he was expected to be an instant starter and an instant difference maker for the team, and he hasn't disappointed. On the year, Morant is putting up 19.1 points, 6 assists and 3 rebounds, 1.1 steals and 0.2 blocks. He's doing this efficiently, shooting 47.2% from the field and about 42% from the three-point line. He's put up great numbers, such as the game against Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets, where he put up 30 points, 9 rebounds, and more importantly, secured a W, and against LeBron and the Lakers, where he put up 26 points, 6 assists, and 5 steals, and almost led the Grizzlies to the victory against the best team in the league. It's clear that Morant is a spectacular rookie. In fact, he's in the front running for Rookie of the Year in my book. But let's look a little deeper and see where he's most effective and see what parts of his game he has to work on. When watching Morant's game, it's clear that one of his strong suits are attacking the rim, and the stats back it up. On the season, he's shooting about 60% from there, and he's shooting about 53% on layups. It's clear that at such a young age that Morant is going to be an elite finisher in the league if you don't consider him one already. I mean, he has a variety of moves in his arsenal. He can Euro step around defenders, he can go up for the dunk over defenders, he can straight blow by defenders to the basket, but what I think is most impressive is that he can absorb contact, he has the hang time to double clutch, and he can still finish through that. Another impressive thing about Morant's game is that he has the ability to create his own shot. I mean, if you look at the stats this season, only 34.7% of his shots have been assisted on. Morant has shown this season that one-on-one, he can take defenders off the dribble and he could either finish over them, around them, or he can stop for the pull-up jumper. Or he's also shown that he's very effective on the pick and roll and that he can beat his man and then go for the finish, or he could dump it off to his teammate who's rolling or popping to the three-point line. Speaking of pick and rolls and pick and pops, one of Morant's best aspects of his game is his passing. On the season, Morant is averaging 6 assists per game, which is good for 18th in the league, but when you look at the rookie ladder, he is by far first place. Second is RJ Barrett with about 3.6 assists per game. It's not even close. Morant's ability to run the pick and roll is what really sets him apart from his rookie counterparts. I mean, he knows when to dump the pass off to the roller, he knows when to take it to the rim, but he also knows when to skip pass it over to the open shooter when the help defense comes. However, where he's most effective is in transition and in the semi-transition where the defense isn't fully set up yet. Morant uses his athleticism and his ball handling to continuously put pressure on the defense where he can set himself up to make the decision. Am I going to take it to the rack? Am I going to kick it to the open shooter? Or am I going to dump it off to the cutter cutting to the basket? However, even with all these positives, there are still some things that Morant can do to work on his game. In fact, one of them, the biggest one in my opinion, is his ability to shoot the ball. I mean, I know he's shooting 43.3% from 3 this season, but he's only taking about 2 attempts per game and making less than 1 per game. When you look at the stats, Morant is actually shooting pretty poorly on jump shots. He's only shooting 39 of 99, which is about 39.4%, and if you take 3-pointers out of the equation, he only shoots 26 out of 69, which is good for 37.7% from the field. But even though these numbers aren't the best, I know that they're gonna improve because of Morant's work ethic. I mean, look at the jump he made from his freshman to sophomore year. We know that Morant is gonna be in the gym putting up shots in the offseason, so expect next season for his numbers to improve. Another thing that Morant needs to improve as his career goes on is his ability to take care of the ball. I mean, he's averaging 3.9 turnovers per game, which that's kind of a lot. If you look at it on NBA.com, Morant is good for 8th most turnovers per game. But much like the shooting, I think that over time Morant is going to improve on this. I mean, he's still adjusting to the speed of the NBA, even though he's been having a good transition. He's still not fully an NBA player. He doesn't have 1 full NBA season under his belt. He still has to adjust to the game, and he needs to learn what passes he can get away with and what passes he can't get away with on the NBA level. The final thing that I want to see in Morant's game is his defense. I mean, I know he has pretty solid defense for a rookie, and that I know he plays the passing lanes very well, but I want to see him become a lockdown defender. I want to see him become a Russell Westbrook type defender, a Dwayne Wade type of defender. I want to see him night in and night out put 100% on the defensive end and guard the other team's best player and shut him down. And I know this is no easy feat, but with Morant's work ethic and his athleticism, I really feel this is something that he could accomplish. Like Eminem once said, you can do anything you set your mind to. However, with all that being said, the one common theme in the things that Morant needs to work on is that he'll get better over time and with more experience and more reps in the gym, which is a good thing. I see Morant's floor as being a very serviceable and above average starter for any NBA team in the league, but his ceiling is extremely high. I could see him being a perennial all-star, I could see him leading the league in assists for multiple years, I can see him being a perennial all-NBA player, and most importantly, I could see him leading a team to an NBA championship. But with all that being said, let me know what you think of Ja in the comments below. Do you think he's going to be a bust, or do you think he's going to be an all-star? I think the consensus is that he's going to be an all-star. He seems to be pretty well liked. But speaking of likes, if you liked the video, go hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for all the support lately. We're at 138 subscribers. I'd like to hit 140 by the end of this video, so go tell your friends, go tell your family, go tell your aunts, your uncles, whoever you know to go subscribe to the channel. But with all that being said, thank you very much for watching, and have a good day or night wherever you are.